Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Been a lot of talk lately on this channel about what can Tennessee do to become elite. What do they need to do to take that next step? We've talked about blue chip ratios, where Ohio State is at in comparison to Tennessee. How do we close that gap? How do we get that same elite type of talent to go win a national championship? Yeah, 10 wins is great. Making it to the college football playoff is great. Josh Heupel has done some great things, but what do we need to do to take that next step? Because it feels like to me that we are right there on that doorstep. And who knows, man, maybe it's not Nico, right? Nico comes in. We see what Joe Milton does in 2023, and we think, well, Nico's the missing link. When Nico comes in, we're going to be off to the races. Maybe it's not Nico. You know, he had all the hype. He had all the expectations. Number one player in the country, five-star quarterback. It's right as NIL starts to roll out. The alleged $8 million deal. But maybe it is Nico. We're 28 days away from spring camp, and I think there's a lot of excitement for me around what this team looks like in 2025. And I get it, man. Some of you guys are all over the place. I think 9-3. If you come in the comment section, you say, Boogie, I just see 9-3. I don't think we can beat Georgia. And until Josh Heupel proves he can go on the road and beat Florida, go on the road and beat Alabama, I just don't see it. I think that's a very realistic approach. But what if they're better than that? What if they go 10-2? What if they go 11-1? What if they take a step backwards? I see some people saying 8-4. Who's that fourth loss to? I've seen some people go as far as saying 7-5. The reality is, when we talk about being elite, when we talk about taking that next step, Josh Heupel, this program right now is in way better shape than it was when Josh Heupel took over. And maybe if it's not Nico, maybe it's George. Maybe it's George McIntyre. Maybe it's Jake Merklinger. Look, I'm not a Nico fan. I'm a Tennessee fan. Whoever is taking the snaps, I want to see them succeed. Maybe, just maybe, it's the five-star quarterback in the class of 2026, Faison Brandon. And if you keep stacking recruiting classes, Tennessee currently sitting at 5th in the class of 2026. You keep stacking classes, then maybe it's George, maybe it's Faison Brandon, or maybe we see Nico turn this offense around in 2025. But the bottom line is, if you're going to take that step, if you want to be elite, you have to continue to recruit at a high level. We talk all the time about stacking recruiting classes, and I'm going to talk about a couple of guys in this video today that would help continue to build, take that next step towards elite talent. Before we get into it, I want you guys to do me a quick favor. Do that YouTube stuff. You know the deal by now. Smash the thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click that bell for notifications so you don't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. We plan to go live every Sunday night, but because it's Super Bowl Sunday coming up on Sunday, we're going to move the EA Sports College Football stream to Tuesday night, 6:30, and then we're going to go right back to Sundays the following week. So come hang out with us. If it's your first time here, welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. We're not experts here. We don't pretend to be that. We don't pretend to be insiders. What we are is exactly what you are. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like it, make sure you subscribe and come check out what we do. We talk Tennessee football all day, every day, right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. But let's talk a little recruiting. Let's go take a look at five-star wide receiver Tristan Keys, 6'2", 185 pounds, out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. This is a needle mover. Right, a top 10 player, a blue chip prospect, 7th best player in the country according to the On3 industry rankings. Number 2 ranked wide receiver, top player out of the state of Mississippi. Scouting report from Andrew Ivins over at 247 Sports says a potential game wrecker on the outside that can attack all 3 levels and constantly challenge defenses. Pairs elite ball skills together with dynamic route running, superior athleticism, and long levered frame. Creates separation with his suddenness and will break off defensive backs with snappy cuts. Attacks football with confidence and has a rather high success rate in contested catch situations. Usually creating advantage with his natural bounce, competitive with the ball in his hands, can hit the throttle to capitalize on his catch and run opportunities. Shined on the offensive circuit at multiple events the summer after his sophomore year before assembling elite junior tape for a Hattiesburg squad that went undefeated during the regular season. Might not ever be classified as a true burner, but has the skill set to emerge as a playmaker and trusted option on the perimeter for the college football playoff contender, given the combination of size, fluidity, and coordination. As a junior last year, had 58 catches, 1,275 yards for 14 touchdowns. You can see there on the screen. 5-star wide receiver Tristan Keys will take official visits to 6 schools. You see Auburn, Tennessee, Miami, Alabama, LSU, and Texas A&M. Now, VolQuest has kind of been reporting all along that Tennessee was in great shape with Tristan Keys. Talked about how they built a really strong foundation, remain the team to beat. That's kind of been the narrative the last few weeks. Tennessee is the team to beat. They're out front. They expected a decision to come sooner rather than later. Some thought even maybe this month, in the month of February or March, April, but sooner rather than later. But now, as of this morning, it sounds like Tristan Keys is going to slow things down. May even, like I said, they thought maybe this month, but now sounds like he's going to slow it down with the official visits. Now, is this bad news? Is this bad news for Tennessee? Let's go take a look at the article there from that tweet. It says here, 5-star wide receiver Tristan Keys locks in 6 official visits. It says Hattiesburg, Mississippi, 5-star wide receiver has locked in 6 officials. He'll see LSU, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Miami, Alabama, and Auburn. The 6'2", 185-pound Keys told Chad Simmons earlier this week that Alabama was high on the list. Now, again, the narrative has been Tennessee, the front runner. At one point, Chad Simmons said Tennessee and Texas A&M were out front. But why is there this buzz around Alabama? Says here the people stood out to me. They're so organized. They keep each other accountable. Going to a place like Alabama will help you mature and become responsible. The staff was great. Like the facilities, the players were nice to be around. Everything was cool. I could see myself with the people there. I was comfortable, and I had a great time. He also visited Auburn, it says here. It says today was great. It all started this morning. Got to chill with some of the guys, just trying to see how you fit in and get along with the guys. Guys were great. I can picture myself in this environment and with a bunch of players like Anquan Fegans and Deuce Knight. So that was after a visit to Auburn. And again, the buzz is around Alabama because he was just there for Junior Day this past weekend. After that visit, Steve Wiltfong said the nation's number 2 wide receiver Tristan Keys visited Alabama this weekend. The Crimson Tide are for sure a front runner. Again, Chad Simmons at one point said it was Tennessee and Texas A&M. Tom Loy has logged a 247 Sports crystal ball prediction for Tennessee going all the way back to October of last year. He's taken some unofficials to Tennessee, took in the Kentucky game, took in the Florida game. Coach Hype, Coach Halsley, Coach Pope all visited him in Mississippi last month. In-home visit, went to see him take in a basketball game. VolQuest, as of this morning, said Tennessee still a major contender here because of his relationship with Faison Brandon. This is big boy recruiting battles, right? You don't go get one of the top wide receivers in the country without some competition. But when we talk about taking that next step, we talk about becoming elite. Tennessee's recruited some pretty dang good wide receivers, and I'm excited to see those guys like Mike Matthews. I'm excited to see Braylon Staley get an opportunity. Travis Smith coming in as a true freshman. But can we get that elite dude, that top guy, one of the top wide receivers in the country in Tristan Keys? It's going to be big. It's going to be a big boy battle. Tennessee considered to be the front runner again for Tristan Keys. I want to flip over, take a look at the defensive side of the ball. We're going to go back to Twitter here. You can see On 3 Recruits put out news. 2026 4-star corner Caden Harris has locked in official visits to Vanderbilt, Georgia, Tennessee, and Alabama. He tells Chad Simmons of On3.com. Here's the quote from Caden Harris. Says, I visited Vanderbilt and Tennessee around 4 or 5 times. I've visited Alabama 4 times, Georgia twice. All 4 are pretty high on my list. Now, according to Chad Simmons, he may not even take spring visits. Could see a visit to LSU, maybe Missouri, Notre Dame, Texas A&M, but he's really focused, dialed in on these official visits. Said the number one thing for me when I commit is player development. I want to be pushed every day, see a change in myself on and off the field. I want to compete for a national championship and have strong relationships. On the official visits, I will get to work on my relationships, see what level I connect with the people, and get feedback from the players. That feedback from players will be important because they are here every day. They know what it is like. Again, this is Caden Harris, 4-star corner. He's 6 foot, 170 pound, in-state kid, Brownsville, Tennessee. Shout out to Super Saiyan. He was commenting on the video from yesterday talking about, can Tennessee get to that next level? Can Tennessee be elite? Super Saiyan said, if you're going to do it, it starts in state. It starts with locking down the state, not letting your blue chip prospects, your 4 stars, your 5 stars get out of state. So again, Caden Harris, in-state prospect. What he likes about Tennessee, says it's an in-state school. It's in the SEC, and they have built a great relationship with me. Coach Willie Martinez is my guy. We're close. I talked to a lot of the other coaches, including Coach Heupel. Great relationships there. So like the quote said, he's been to Tennessee multiple times. He visited for the Texas A&M game back in 2023. He took in a spring practice last year, also visited for the Alabama game last season. Coming off of that visit, said I feel closer to them every visit. They're still high on my list like they've always been. They're recruiting me hard. We communicate probably every day. They are for sure making me feel like a priority. He goes on to say, the trust in their corners on island stood out to me in the game. The message the coaches sent when talking with others with me was another highlight. A lot more stood out, and what keeps me going back is just continue to build relationships with not only the coaches, but the university as well. Now, according to Austin Price, Matt Ray over at VolQuest, Tennessee probably not the front runner here with Caden Harris, but they are deep in it. So, Tristan Keys, Tennessee seems to be leading, but he's going to go through the process. Caden Harris got some work to do. Couple of blue chip prospects, couple of important pieces to the class of 2026. Tennessee currently sitting 5th in that class of 2026. Can they have a strong spring, a strong summer, and then close this thing out and finish with an elite class to continue to add more blue chip prospects? Like I've said in multiple videos, Josh Heupel has doubled what he did in that class of 21 based on what he did in the class of 25. Can we take another step in the class of 26? Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the Talkin VAWLS merchandise, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. You can also support the channel by hitting the join button right down there beside subscribe. It's $1 a month. You get custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, a power T beside your name in the chat and in the comments. But more than anything, you're keeping the lights on around here and allowing us to bring this content every single day. There are links in the description below as well to do that. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.